The quick release mechanism works by opening and closing the nut around the lead screw, and to do that the nut has to be cut in half. I'm using a grinder with a thin blade to do the cutting, but a hacksaw would work as well. The two parts of the nut have to be glued into the wooden jaws that open and close, and here I'm cutting a recess in one jaw to the right depth for half the nut. I'm just nibbling the material away with a single blade until it's the right width. I need to do both jaws exactly the same way. Next, I need to cut a V-groove into each jaw to clear the threaded rod I'm using for the lead screw. I'll just make a series of cuts with the blade at 45 degrees, sneaking up on the final size. The two halves of the nut need to close together on the rod, and the rod must be free to turn when the jaws are closed together. I've mixed some slow setting epoxy to glue the nuts into the jaws, and I've cut filler pieces to fit in beside the gluing into the hole with more construction adhesive. I glued up the two jaws for the vise from maple, and here I'm just scraping the glue off before I run them through the planer and cut them to length. Next, I'm cutting rabbets in the top edge of each jaw for replaceable inserts. In hindsight, I really didn't need to do this since I've never had to replace them over the 3 years I've used the vise. There's a steel thrust plate on the moving jaw that the head of the lead screw pushes against to open and close the jaw. I'm using a bearing plate from a jack post for this. I just need to drill a 1-inch hole in the middle for the lead screw to fit through. Since I don't have a 1-inch drill bit, I'll drill a series of smaller holes and punch out the middle after. The handle is put through the head and the end cap is glued and screwed on. The last thing to do is to attach the replaceable jaw inserts with screws, no glue, and it's finished and ready to use. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It was a bit shorter and a little bit easier to watch than the original 10 videos that I made covering this build. There's enough flexibility in the plan to make the vise open as wide as you want it. Mine opens about 13 inches, so it'll handle objects up to that size. The handle underneath is easy to reach and operate and locks the lead screw firmly in position. It's made from common, easy to find parts, and the detailed plans make it easy to build. For those that are interested, there's a full plan set on my website to build your own. As usual, thanks for watching and see you next time.